after what had to be, in my opinion, one of the funniest and squeakiest interviews, he came back from surgery and Antonio Conte gave a brilliant rant after the Southampton game, digging into the board, the players, and ultimately leading to his own dismissal. Of course, he was in charge of Tottenham Hotspur in the Premier League, Daniel Levy's run side, which is just not going great. Newcastle United and Manchester United look to both pip Tottenham to the post for Champions League football. Tottenham really need to try and improve themselves, so we need to give them a new manager today, and we're going to set off with a challenge to rebuild the Giants. I'm going to start off with some rules. We have to hire a manager to start off with. That's an easy one to complete. Then, of course, we've got to try and lift the Champions League title. Take Tottenham one further than ex-manager Mauricio Pochettino. He was on the shortlist of who we hire, as also we want to be winning the Premier League. We want to do the double with the manager we bring in. And finally, the rule is, with Tottenham standing in the UEFA rankings at this moment in time in 30th, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, with them standing there, we're going to put a rule in. For every team that is above them in the rankings, we have to sell a player if a bid comes in from them to that club. No negotiations allowed. Say if City come in for Kane, we've got to accept it. Even Benfica, Porto, Palmeiras are above Tottenham's ranking. So first of all, picking a manager, as we've got one on screen behind me. A lot of speech from myself as I'll show you the man we've gone with. And no, it's not Pochettino. An unrealistic move. But Thomas Frank, the Brentford manager. He's literally just behind Tottenham in the league. But when a big club with a fancy stadium, very close in proximity, come for you, you're not going to have to move house as Thomas Frank. He can just go over. Yes, he has his ties to the chairman and everything like that. The Danish feel of the Frenchman has the real Brentford factor. But Tottenham are going to peel them off the rivals. He's doing very well in the league, and they're going to do a Nuno Espirito Santo. Take another manager from a team just below them, and we've got to rebuild. Hopefully this is just the first bit of magic that the board can pull off. You can see the objectives are really harsh. 100 million to spend. Is Daniel Levy actually being nice? This is going to be a challenge for Thomas Frank, much like another Frank taking over Chelsea. Frank Lampard's just been announced. And if you're excited to see what this rebuild has in store and like some rules, drop some suggestions down below. Of course, for teams, for rules, for saves in general. And if you do enjoy this channel and haven't seen any of the rest, subscribe, please. And stay here. We're on a race to 15k. Here we are, just landed in North London. Not a long travel from Brentford. Youth development is set. We've got to get 7 clean sheets in the league. They want signings overall later on. Reach the Champions League final is a high continental success. They want a Champions League place. They want an FA Cup. And they want sales increasing. Okay, some difficult challenges. As Kane could be sold, of course. It's very lightly with the rules. As James Leach in this academy looks a brilliant replacement. You know, 17-year-old, 70 rated. I'll promote him to the squad. I absolutely love that, and we know how much money we have. It's just about looking at this team. I think we've got to get rid of this formation. And this is more typical of a Thomas Frank formation. He likes the 3 in midfield with a holding, if I'm not wrong. I don't watch a lot of Brentford, but still the 5 at the back is complete. It really has to be with the amount of centre-backs we've had, because of course the rule does apply that we have to sell players. However, I think if we do, of course, finish in Champions League places, that rule will kind of diminish, because we'll move up in them rankings. They will get one of our players if they bid for him. That is the main rule, as we're going to see if it happens really soon. And I can't really show you the graphic that I'm using to display these rankings. It's a football database online. Just search that up and it'll probably come up. Tottenham are 24th. The first bid is from Sociedad for Emerson Royal. We can still sell players and negotiate with clubs below us in the rankings, but these are 39th. So I am going to reject it for now. I want to see who we lose before we sign. Here is the first one. Oh, there's 2 in 1. Look at them. PSG for Romero and Harry Kane from Barcelona. Right. Okay, we're going to start this save off very abruptly. We're going to have to accept our main centre-back and Harry Kane, both leaving the club. And there is the confirmation of one. 56 million is a steal for Romero as well. With Harry Kane to Barcelona, no. I know it's hard to explain without a graphic, but I think PSG were ranked 14th in the UEFA rankings and Barcelona 5th because the top of La Liga. And if I'm checking my ranks correctly, Lazio are ranked 18th and we're 24th. So Ben Davies will have to go as well to Lazio. Tricky business. But how will Son and Richarlison cope in this first one? Hey, we get a big win in pre-season. As we also loan out James Leach to Brighton Hove Albion, giving that youngster some experience. As finally, we do have a replacement though. Our centre-back is replaced, Romero. This is Castello Luqueba. Now, his rating's a lot lower, but we've got him for quite cheap, so we've still got a lot of profit to go to the striking option with. And he's 19-year-old. A very promising player. Also a loan deal here for Jeffin Tanganga, Aston Villa. In our first game of the season, let me show you this. I think it just went past it. Yes! The North London derby. I mean, we have to start with that. We also have to start with selling Eric Dyer, another centre-back. Yes, Ajax are ranked 22nd. It's unbelievable. It is 2 higher, so they get Dyer. However, we take one step closer towards replacing Harry Kane, gaining the signature of Tammy Abraham, our new number 10. Yes, he's been at Chelsea and Arsenal, but he's a Tottenham player. And he's back in London. Everything points away from that signing, but I don't know. I just feel like Thomas Frank can treat him like an Ivan Toney. He's probably come over for the manager, and he's got a big future. A future that, of course, starts with a game against Arsenal, and this is the team. We'll take Dyer out, actually, because we can't really play him for long. Definitely need a new defender. As here we go. It's a big game, and we are at home for it. Come on. That lineup, to me, doesn't look strong now. But it's a team we're building. We've got to rebuild Tottenham. As we do start with a solo run. And this ball is falling into Tammy Abraham. It's a good first touch, you know. Here he goes. Tammy Abraham. Oh, Ramsdale. Quite a poor shot from us, to be fair, as Trossard. Oh, no. Bad slide tackle. Trossard goes from range, though. A lot of things that need changing at this club, but Tammy looks a very bright spark in this first game. Very far out, just hitting it straight at Gabriel. Chance still here. Over the top towards Bentancur. Højbjerg. Into the side, into Oliver Skip. Another one into Mats Hummel's face. As the whistle goes at a 0-0 score draw derby. I mean, I'll take it. We should have scored, probably, but I'll take that result. Arsenal are at the heights, and we're still a work in progress. Even more of a progress in work. I'll put it the other way around. I've also thought maybe goalkeeper we'd go for. There is a lot of positions to cover. And look at that, man. You know what I'm going to say. Eric Dyer broke down, so we're keeping him. That's a good thing. But Rodrigo Bentancur, our best midfielder. Oliver Skip's going to have to step up. As we have another big player, though, coming in. Matthias Ginter is an experienced head in the defence, so Luqueba's the future. This guy is the Romero replacement. But he isn't the only centre-half we signed, because Bremer from Juventus, I really want a strong defence, because I'm not replacing Lloris this season, so the defence has to be A-OK. As we have one more signing, and it is a betrayal to his club. Judging by the positions in the league, it is, of course, wait for it, that man right there, it's Alexis McAllister. Yes, the World Cup winner has betrayed Brighton, 30 million to bring him to Spurs. That is on deadline day as well, so we've still got to try and survive 10 hours. And it looks like we're surviving. However, I think it might have just gone off, but there was a big signing go through. We've signed the contracts, we've sent a scout out now, and all that's left is to look at the Champions League group. It is the real life one with Frankfurt, Sporting Lisbon, and Olympique Marseille all battling it out in this group, as we need to reach the final somehow. And halfway through, we have the thumbs up, which I always refer to, because I think if we've got a thumbs up, we can't be doing that bad. It's 5th in the league, though. We have a chance still of getting up there, but that's not what I care about. I, of course, do in the future. As the semi-finals, we're not in. We must have gone out. I think we went out to Chelsea, actually. I remember that one. Yeah, lost on pens. Hard one to take as Champions League. We haven't progressed. Oh, my days. Oh, my, we finished bottom. We got 2 draws and didn't win a single game in what some deem the easiest group. Frankfurt, Marseille, and Sporting should not finish above us, and we should win a game at least. So now it's just all about the Premier League form, I guess, with a full transfer window where we could even lose further players. This is horrific. Lenglet's been recalled as well, so we are one centre-back light. So I am going to sim on a little bit to see if we can pick this frankly embarrassing form up, and we've already got offers for players. Roma, I mean, what? Okay, so Roma are ranked 27, so they will go down, but Lazio, we all know, are ranked higher, so we are going to lose Richarlison, which is probably not harsh in real life, but in this game it is, as Leipzig. Are they above? They are. I'm actually scrolling down on it here. They're 20th, we're 24th. Go buy Emerson Royale. We've lost 2 Brazilians, and now we lose our Korean. He will be going to Man City. They are ranked top in the world out of teams, so Son. Oh, goodbye, Son. There he goes. So again, on the lookout for another replacement attacker, as we're going to trust Patrick Schick to be that man. We've got 2 talisman forward tall players, which isn't great. But then again, it's a rebuild season. I'll keep repeating that. The team, I think, looks... well, Harry Kane, Romero and Son's gone. I was going to say better. It's still got work to do. And the business isn't finished with losing players, because Eric Dyer will go to Manchester United. And we have survived deadline day from other players, so the embargo kind of thing is over. Our bad period of players wanting to leave to go to higher clubs is done. So we can actually go out there and sign big next episode. And not lose players, should I say. We're going to sign big this one. Or this season, not episode. I'm all over the place. Just like our league form, which has to improve. And we've got the thumbs down. That means, 7th in the league. I'm gonna be sick. I am physically gonna be sick at the sight of an 11-point gap between us and Newcastle, who even finished 5th anyway. 13 points off United. Unbelievable, Hefe, as Leeds United won the FA Cup over Leicester City. We weren't even close. I mean, Sunderland came closer than us. Sunderland. We were beaten by the winners, Leeds. Still, we shouldn't get beat by Leeds. A lot of us team will be getting older. The likes of Lloris, who we definitely need to replace. Where's the stats? Here they are. Tammy Abraham, a bright spark, however, with 22 goals and 10 assists. Ivan Perisic with 11 goals, but he's actually getting older himself. McAllister with 10. A positive player, but likes of Pedro Porro. Yeah, we lose him next season. We do get Leach back. We lose Danjuma, so a lot of swings and roundabouts going into this second season where we really can't afford to suffer second season syndrome with Frank. So come on, lads. We've got to have a better season. What do the board expect? No continental success. Did we not get in the Conference League? The Champions League finish in the FA Cup, of course. No salary growth. Youth Academy worked on, and a critical brand exposure. Not bad rules, as we should have a lot of new players. And what I mean by that is loanees returning, like Lo Celso. Should be some more down here. Yeah, Tanganga, of course. Paria, Regulon's back. Ugodier, and Dane Scarlett. Oh my, it goes down further. Harry Winks, Jill, Undombele, Rodon. We do have players that will probably most likely be sold, but having a bigger squad's never a bad thing. Oh, and how can I forget this man who's just danced in the squad? Jed Spence. Season already looks more promising with these youngsters we've got, and I am very much looking forward to it. Okay, and the stupid rule, calling it stupid because it didn't help us. I actually enjoyed the rule being there. But yeah, the rule is out the window now. We can actually keep players. And the best thing about the challenge definitely was the 237 million it's allowed us to save. And the new season is a new loan deal for James Leach. I still don't think he is ready. And that means we kind of do need a replacement, backup striker kind of thing now. Danjuma's gone. I think Adobe spoke to his Italian teammate and brought him here. We've got Giacomo Raspadori from Sassuolo. Was on loan. Was it Napoli who won the league? So a very decent player. And I tell you what, it's a good job we're not keeping to them bloody rules, because Bissouma would be gonzo. Don't get me wrong, he's probably still replaced with this new man on the block. Even Nuno couldn't bring his best man from Wolves, Ruben Neves, over to Tottenham. Linked with Arsenal a few times, and of course Chelsea. but chooses Spurs. Gonna get rid of some players as well, because we've got loads of left wing backs. Sessegnon goes first. And also goes out is Tanguy Ndombele. Can you believe this was the biggest transfer for Spurs at one point? Couldn't even bring myself to say it, as Alfie Devine leaves. As we also get a new goalkeeper in as well. Here he is, the tall man, coming through the door. I think you already know who it is. It's Ilyan Meslier, one of the best young keepers in world football, I think, in that Leeds team especially. Our first game of the season is actually against Leeds in this simulation. Come on, yes! A bright start, which we need for the first half of this season. And yeah, the board are right. We've got no European football for finishing 7th. An embarrassment, really. I'm guessing that is from Leeds winning the FA Cup. Not great. Not great. Perisic's gone as well, or Perisic. We just need that bright start. And we've got a star rating. That must mean we're in the Champions League spots. Well, we're in the FA Cup first. We'll have to go the long way around to see. But no. Why have we got a star rating when we're 7th in the league? We're above Arsenal, which I did win the North London derby. Pretty proud of myself. But still, that's horrific, man. 5 points off Manchester United. We're still in the FA Cup, but I could see us honestly being sacked if we don't boost it. The young squad is improving, though. Tammy Abraham. Ruben Neves is only 26, which is unbelievable. Lukeba, should I say? Meslier, Udogie. But Jed Spence is not going up. He needs fixing somehow. That is our job to fix him. As we start off with a player out, though, Brian Hill. He won't play in our formation. Can we really fix Jed Spence? I don't know. We've had him in an Everton save and it didn't work, so I'm bringing in Benjamin Pavard to take his position. The Frenchman will link up with the French manager. Squad good enough to go into the rest of the season. Schick is only out for 2 weeks. Don't worry, guys. Lukeba. I am going to trust Meslier and Udogie just because they're very young players, and this is a project, like I've said for the millionth time. And a thumbs up. Is that Champions League football? To be fair, I'd take any. Yes! It's actually Champions League. For a minute, I thought maybe it would be Europa or Conference, which I would have taken, like I said. But back in the big leagues, the Champions League is secure. 67 points. We actually finished 3rd. What a redemption. And knocked Arsenal by a point into 5th. A very good thing, as Chelsea winning the FA Cup's not a good thing. However, we lost to Newcastle in the quarter-finals. Even Ipswich got further as Man City won the Carabao. I don't know where we went out. Well, there was 7-0 there. 7-2 on aggregate. Where did we go? We lost to Sunderland on penalties. Okay, so that's a shocker. But overall in this season, it's not. Ratings from our youngsters went up still. Udogie, Lukeba and Meslier. Let's have a look who was top scorer. It was Tammy again with 30 goals and 10 assists. He loves double figures. Schick is catching up though with 26 and 2. Højbjerg with 10. I love Pierre-Emile Højbjerg as a footballer. I do really like Chelsea in the Premier League, as you guys know. But I've got a real big soft spot for Højbjerg. He's just a footballer that I'd love on my team. I don't think he'd play for Grimsby anytime soon, though. I did see Udogie got 7 goals, but that is it for season number 2. Champions League football secured. And we're here for a 3rd season, trying to rebuild on what we've had. I don't know why I've gone Mancunian. It's even been a day since the last season. As the objectives are, they want us to win the Champions League. Okay, they want us to win the league and win the FA Cup. They want financial improving, youth development going, and then the critical priority looks already failed. They want an 82 rated player signing. Let's do that. I do think we'll lose players as well, as this is the team. You can see I've gone for Raspadori and Tammy Abraham up front, just because I don't want that double tall man pivot up front. I don't like the idea of Sheik and Abraham together. They're just too similar in my eyes. Of course, it was Kane and Son, a fast one and a finisher, and that's kind of what I want. As we lose one of the players that we generally don't really use, and Tottenham don't in real life with all the loans. Giovanni Lo Celso is out to Juventus. As we lose another player as well, who's been here quite a while. It's Lucas Moura. Big fan of this guy when he turned up at Tottenham, but he's just petered out of it. We also lose a player that we recently signed. Alexis McAllister was dropped with Ruben Neves coming in. He's gone to PSG to play with Messi. Could not deny the man of a £50 million move towards his bloody best mate. It also joins the loss of Sergio Reguilon as we look to replace him as a backup left wing back. As in comes an ex-Thomas Frank player. This, right here, is Rico Henry. He's going to be our backup right wing back. Very reminiscent of a Ben Davies at left wing back. Just that player who could be trusted when called upon. No other signings this season so far, but £413 million is sat there ready to be spent, which we've got to spend after this first game of the season against Chelsea of all teams. What an exciting one that we've got to win. So come on, we are at home, we're at the new stadium. We've really got to get a win. Some players like Tanganga stepping in because we've suffered a lot of little injuries. And Leach is readied on the bench as Raspadori with the first ball straight through. Tammy Abraham against the former club. Here he is. Oh, what a save. What a start that could have been. We need a header away in this box. Good stuff, Basuma. Oh, this is a Chelsea attack. Plays straight through the middle for Goncalo Ramos of all people. Lloris. Ball just went behind him as a free kick here for Ruben Neves, our new captain and number 7 over the wall. What a save, Mendy. We've been the team pushing on the door, but it is going to be a last chance here for the Blues. Goncalo Ramos across the deck, and that is that. 2-0 so far when we've simulated the highlights. Probably need to stay away, but hey, avoid a defeat. But we do back it up with an emphatic win there over Leeds United. That is more like the Tottenham way. And deadline day seems to have gone over. You can see Sheik was very much approached by Barcelona. Did that go through? No, it didn't. It broke down. He's here for the first half of the season, and we are on a mission. As the last thing we always do is check our group in the Champions League. Roma, Jose Mourinho will face us with Porto and Dinamo Zagreb. A very tasty group of games. Will we come out in top on them? And thumbs up halfway through. Always go for the thumbs before looking at the table, as we are third, so it's the same as last season. I don't like the 13 gap between us and Liverpool, though. To be fair, they're running away with it a little bit. Man City are even not catching them up, so Premier League looks still a distance. Got Doncaster coming in the FA Cup as we're out of the Carabao. We lost to Leeds United again in this competition. They are doing well as we are through to the round of 16 of the Champions League, but Bayern Munich's not an easy task. We did win our group, but not convincingly. Jose Mourinho will be playing the Europa League football as well. Good stuff as the team looks improved as well. We do have a very young bench here with Leach and Sarr. The ratings are going up from them, so it's good. Tanganga's in the team as well, because Ginter... Oh, he's back, actually, Ginter. Never mind. Sorry, Tanganga, you're going to be dropped. One player I'm very fond of as well is Adobe, the left wing back. 21-year-old. He is phenomenal. Patrick Schick as well looks like he's played over Raspadori, who's very unhappy at the club. Maybe we see the end of him, as we're going to try and get some loanees out this season. So Alfie Devine's the first one. I'd love for him to be a first-team player, as we lose one of the big men here as well. Willeni, basically Patrick Schick, leaves the club, heading to Napoli for £100 million. That should increase the club worth just that little bit. With Raspadori leaving as well because he's in a swap deal for Danjuma. So we've signed an 82 rated player. Danjuma comes back to the club with Tammy Abraham, and it'll probably give Leach a bit more playing time. I do want to get him more involved, so that is going to be our strike force. Yes, it's very much decreased, but you've got to trust the process. May look... well, very weak window on the grand scheme of things, but I'm happy. I'm honestly happy. I think this still is building for next season, but I'd love a trophy. I really don't think we have the better of Bayern Munich as well in this round of 16, but Thomas Frank's got to give it a go, and a draw in the first leg is not bad. And we can't be a bottle job team anymore, Thomas Frank. Come on, let's get a win against Bayern Munich. Yes! Tammy Abraham, our saviour here at Spurs. He's literally got an affiliation with every London club, bar Tottenham, but he's doing it for the Whites. Not a bottle job anymore. Yes, only the quarter-finals reached, but that is huge. Get in that media room, Thomas, and speak your magical words, because he's done it on the field. Our next game will be Juventus in what looks a very crammed month with some big games. May have noticed a Wembley semi-final with Bristol City there as well, and we've got to win that. we've also got to play well in this first leg against Juve. What will it be with our relatively tired team? Adobe, the Italian, should be used to playing these. 2-1 loss. Arthur even scoring. Pellegrini. And of course, it's Tammy. We do need to play very well against a team that I didn't even notice has Guimaraes, Gvardiol, De Bruyne, Alvarez. Juventus are nothing to be messed with, as it's proven so. De Bruyne with a brace. And all that hard work, should I say, against Bayern is undone. The best thing to do after losing that is go out there and win our first trophy. Spurs is first in a while. It will be our first of the save, already 3 seasons in. Newcastle in the FA Cup final. And there it is. Tammy Abraham, Bissouma and Adobe, after they took the lead, wins Thomas Frankie's first trophy. And there is a trophy in the cabinet, the FA Cup. We haven't won in a while in the save, so it's brilliant to get that with Spurs. Daniel Levy angered by our position. Oh, and we're not even going to be playing Champions League football. 10 defeats all season sees us sit in a Europa League place. Oh my days. Tammy and the lads don't deserve this. We're just honestly really, really bad. It's a good job we don't introduce that rule anymore of course, selling players to teams above us. We need to keep them. Liverpool won the Carabao. We were out very early in that. We have to win the Europa League, as the final is Juventus versus Barcelona. Kane versus the team with De Bruyne. We're just not at that level. Saying that, we'll have a lot of money to spend next season. As Tammy, 37 goals. An unbelievable player. Ruben Neves stepping up with 15 and 10. Both of them in the double club. Højbjerg very, very close. As I love this man. Just such a Danish Viking in the midfield. Adobe as well, brilliant. 6 goals from left back. I think we may need another striker instead of Danjuma if Leach doesn't step up himself. But I'm looking positively. That's what you've got to do. We've won a trophy at least. 100% need a better season this time round. The critical, they want 4 players over 82 rated, 12 clean sheets. Win the Europa League, Champions League place, win the FA Cup, increase the club size, which we're doing, and the youth development looks a bit easier. I don't want to go unrealistic with this, of course, and I feel like we kind of did with Sheik and Abraham. Still, I'm not too far gone. I think Sheik is literally gone. And Jed Spence is rising, so he could be in this team for the foreseeable future. We have £506 million to spend. After winning a trophy, though, could we bring one of the old lads back? I'm only playing with you guys, as we do lose a player right here. Benjamin Pavard, now Spencer stepping in. I'm taking a big gamble, and I'm motivating Spence by selling what was supposed to be his replacement to hopefully get the better out of him. He's going back to Bayern. Don't think Jed Spence will dance into the team, though, without any pressure at all, because Max Aarons comes, he's a lot lower rated, but he's there to press him. And the signing of a youngster who's pretty decent. We've used him before in a career mode. Here he comes to Tottenham in need of a smaller forward, and Wilfred Gnonto comes across from Nice. Not even Leeds United, to partner up with Tammy and be small and big. As I've just noticed as well, Hugo Lloris has just skirmished out of the building. So we need a backup keeper. Good luck to you, Hugo. We'll go with full confidence as well into the Community Shield. Can it be 2 trophies? Let's get the 50 pence. We do, you know. We've beaten Liverpool. Danjuma with a 3rd-minute goal. Get that in the cabinet. A 50 pence piece is a big trophy still. Literally. It's huge. It'll take like 3 hands to just carry it normally. Couldn't ask for a better way to start our season, as now the start of the season is literally over. We're outside of the window with that team that you see right there on screen, looking very optimistic to El Futuro. Also, Europa League group just looks like that. I'm not going to focus on that. 2 decent, very decent teams in Fenerbahce and Shakhtar. We want to win it, but again, I'd rather focus on maybe winning the Premier League. But that good start did not continue, because we found ourselves 7th in the Premier League. Of course, we were straight away out of the Carabao Cup to Man United as the semi-finals. Look at the team. We could have been there in one of them. Safe to say the Europa League's gone decent though. We've knocked, breezed past Fenerbahce and Shakhtar with 15 points. But I'm not a happy bunny. Very much a firm believer in you get yourselves out of this mess, as we've sold Lukeba to Leicester. Don't have any use for him, he's not progressed. Only signing is a backup keeper who's got the #1 shirt. Freddie Woodman. I won't mind some pressure on Meslier, you know. Not even he himself is out of the blue. He's conceded a lot of goals, 7 still, going through this window. I think I'm going to see you in the Europa League game. Who do we have, actually? We haven't had it show up, but I've got nothing to show. The players have got themselves in this mess. They get themselves out. And do you actually believe it? 1, we've lost in the cup. And 2, Barcelona get to visit our old friend Harold Kane. And we get to beat them. Kessié and Abraham scoring very late on. Danjuma with the first half goal. Get in. Big win in Barcelona. Thomas Frank ain't stupid, you know. He knows it's got to be over 2 legs. They've done a big comeback in the Champions League, but not here. Another 2-1. Danjuma with a brace. Mason Mount got a consolation. But we've beaten Barcelona in the not the FA Cup, that'd be stupid. The round of 16 of the Europa League. My brain may be dead, but my hopes are still alive. With Borussia Dortmund next. These are Champions League games, man. Not chuffing Europa League, as we've lost the first leg, courtesy of James Maddison and Correa. In need of a comeback away at Signa Iduna Park. Please, lads. 2-0! Ruben Neves and Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. Mr. Viking himself. Oh, gets in. Now it's a semi-final. Just don't be a hard game. Man United. Manchester United in the Europa League. Yes, I know it's quite a common sight to behold them there, but yes. A beautiful start towards our Europa League campaign, winning the Europa League campaign, should I say. Lautaro with a red card, Abraham with a double, and Højbjerg. Got to win this second leg, however. They've got Thuram up front, get us to a final. Yes, a win as well. Eriksen against his former club, but Abraham and Ruben Neves. Super Ruben Neves. As yes, Atletico Madrid in the final. I'm celebrating because I know Arsenal were against Atletico Madrid, and it could have been a North London final, but Arsenal lost. That's probably going to be Rodon and Sanchez playing, but it's still enough to win. Tammy Abraham with a brace to put the Europa League in the trophy cabinet. Get in there. Who was actually in this lineup, though? Like I said, Rodon and Sanchez and Tanganga. It's basically a 5 at the back who were already at the club. Shows you signings aren't always a guaranteed win. We did it with the players that were either out on loan, like Adobe and Spence, and the players that, well, were still out on loan in Rodon. As in the Premier League, oh, I'm already on it. We finished 5th. Not good enough. Not good enough in the Premier League. We do have Champions League football because of the Europa League win. Still, we've got to step it up. There's 37 goals again for Tammy Abraham. It's only a matter of time for me until he leaves. But Danjuma looks like he may step up. 23 goals. Ruben Neves with 18. Adobe 98 at 23. Brilliant. Along with Højbjerg. Love the man if I haven't said so already. And with a Champions League spot back secured for this next season, season number 5. And I'm stumped for signings. I guess looking at positions, the one at the top stands out most. Goalkeeper. We do have Tanganga still in his defence, but I'm trusting to like Tanganga and beginning to like him. So I really don't know. As we do lose Joe Rodon, though. He's going to Brighton. We also lose Oliver Skipp, who I really want to get in the team at some point in the next 2 seasons, but this season he's spending on loan at Milan. Alfie Devine is still going with his loan deals. And we also lose other players like Bradshaw, who's a big potential player to Celtic. And I think that is it until we find his own player, which we may have done here. We said we needed a goalkeeper. We've got the usual guy. If you guys said I only sign French keepers, you will be correct because we've signed Mike Meigen. No, it's not Albert Lafont. It is Meigen to replace Meslier, who replaced Lloris. French goalkeeper union. He's joined just in time for the Super Cup. Real Madrid. This is a real tester to see where we are in terms of Champions League qualification and everything as we win the Super Cup. Get it in the cabinet. Brilliant. Estupinian missed the penalty, and look, Kulusevski even missed. That makes it a bit sweeter for us. I need to start off the season strongly. A 2-1 win, last minute kind of, against Forest, but it doesn't matter how you do it. There goes Meslier as well. So that is a good sale, because it keeps the squad happy, gets some revenue in, and we've got Meigen playing week in, week out. All I care about is winning this, as you can't pay for it, And to be fair, I'm very happy with getting Bayern Munich in the group stage because it means we can't have them in the next round again. With Salzburg and Basel joining, we should be in the top 2 in that group. And let's see if that's a reality. And I'm not going to check the thumbs up. I'm going to check the team, which looks phenomenal. I know Spencer's unhappy because we can't settle a contract, but the rest of the team, ratings are up and happiness is up. Where are we? Oh, we're second in the league, all right. We're not first. Only 2 defeats is good stuff, but of course, by the rules of this series, we've got to win the title. We still do have a little bit longer, and we have Barnsley in the cup. As in this Carabao Cup, we could reach the final because we've got Norwich City. Please don't be a banana skin, and then the final could be a North London derby or City. Very tight stuff. As we have Sevilla in the round of 16, made it out of the group. Top. Oh my days, what a group. 8 points for each team. Us and Basel go through on goal difference. Literally on goals scored. Yeah, 12 goals scored. Goals against don't matter. We've gone through top of the group by goals scored by 4 goals. Bayern Munich crash out. That is unbelievable. So you can say a very good season so far. Still, we've got stuff to look at. They want us to replace Neves as captain. And you can see right here, a dominant display over Norwich Caesars go through to that final. And basically, it's January of selling a bit of deadwood like Alfie Whiteman, etc, etc. And we've done just that, getting some youngsters out on loan. And now we have to go and beat Sevilla. We have a cup final at the weekend against City. But we've got to make sure we beat Richarlison and Edwards, who are ex-Tottenham players, the winger and the striker. But the first leg is a 2-2 draw. A bit of doubt in the Champions League, but we can't have that in the Carabao Cup final against City. And we win on penalties. Sarr scoring, Rodrigo missing. And that is the Carabao Cup, joining the Community Shield and the FA Cup in the domestic dominance of Spurs. This is quite frankly a must win. Richarlison and Edwards don't need to score here. A 2-0. Danjuma and Sarr off the bench. Oh, Pape Sarr is making himself a hero in Tottenham colours. He's a player who's hardly had a look in all save, but now he's on the bench, he's doing well. Only on the bench due to Skip's loan as we play BVB, who we beat on our run to the Europa League. So that's got me feeling quietly confident. We get a dominant home performance. I think we should be kind of good for the result. But again, a draw with Maddison scoring. So now we have to go to Signet Iduna Park and turn them over. We've got Abraham and Danjuma up front who should be able to, and they do very late on. Tammy Abraham with a hat-trick away from home, showing his dominance and getting Spurs to the semi-final. And there it is, Pochettino's old players as we sim these 3 games. Even Thomas Frank's ex-team who we beat 4-1. PSG. Here we go, a very tired team from ourselves. Still, Messi not playing for Paris Saint-Germain. And as always, a first game draw. So this second leg, this is the biggest game in Tottenham Hotspur's recent history, apart from the Champions League final they actually reached. As that is it, Neves with a goal, but he's been sent off. Bissouma scores the second. A final without 90 rated Ruben Neves will be difficult against Paris Saint-Germain. But we've got to take the positives. We're in the final anyway. Okay, so I know who we've got, but I'm going to check the league first. Not good enough. We are 14 points off Manchester United who walk away with it. We've got to put more pressure on that. We did, of course, win the Carabao. As the FA Cup, Man City win over Liverpool. Where did we go out? I know we played Barnsley first, so let's go over to that one first. We lost to Barnsley. I mean, well in Barnsley. I'm quite a fan in real life, but not there. As look who we have in the final. We've got the North London derby, and it's played in North London. It's at Wembley Stadium. All London Champions League dominance. Europe is dominated by the capital of England, and it is the 2 big North London clubs. Of course, we have to sort the problem regarding Ruben Neves, and I think the like-for-like replacement is going to be Pape Sarr, who comes out. Who goes on the bench? Do we just go with White? He is more defensive. I am going to go with White. Oh my days, what a rise for the youngsters. Sarr has to start the Champions League final as here we go. Come on, Spurs. Tammy must be breaking it, to say the least, because he's against the club that he did once love, and he's got to beat them. If you did catch a look at the yellow cards, looks like we've got a lot, but here we are, Wembley Stadium. We've already won once here this season in that Carabao Cup final. We've got to do it again against the rivals. Of course, the save can't end here anyway because we're still going with winning the Premier League. A bad start. Mjeigen. A great save. And Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. Of course, it's him winning the ball back over to Danjuma. Tammy Abraham here with the ball. Flick on into Bremer. What a ball down the line into Jed Spence. He's just signed a new contract. Tammy Abraham outside of the box. That's a poor one. Bissouma now as well. We're getting us passing a bit better now, so Arsenal should be scared. Tammy Abraham with a shot. Get there, Sarr, if he can. At least it can't be a 0-0 in this game, am I right? As Højbjerg flying with the ball. Our Viking man here is just going to lay that off backwards. He is the captain, and deservedly so. But nothing to separate the sides so far, reaching the half-time break. And I just realised Guendouzi's back at left back for Arsenal in this second half, as that's a ball into Abraham. The man who should be in the middle. It falls to Bissouma. And a throw here for Jed Spence. Come on, we're over an hour gone. 20 minutes left. Here's Jed Spence again. Danjuma's forward. That's a terrible ball. Oh, Tammy, control it. Almost time for the full-time whistle. And Gabriel Jesus has scored late on for Arsenal. We really can't be losing this game. We can't afford to lose. Oh, no. He slipped through and scored. He slipped through and scored. Boys, we have to go quick. We're going to have to make substitutions. Højbjerg, what a header from the big man. Now into Destiny. A chip towards Abraham is a very poor one. Still, header one. Danjuma's coming off in a minute. Adobe, could he score before he goes off? The players have run themselves into the ground as here goes Destiny, though. He might literally take Destiny into his own hands. He's run all the way from his own box and he's done that. Oh, we're going to lose the Champions League final with his best player doing that. Waiting for the whistle to go, and there it goes. I'm not even going to name the team that's won the Champions League, but we've got to go again. No, don't want to talk about it. Heartbreaking end. Goals there from them players, you can see. We've got to go to next season, and we've got to do better. We've got to forgive and forget, especially that man Adobe. And we've got to literally, yeah, I can't say it enough, go again. If we can keep a spine of a squad good, I'm good with 643 million in our bank account. The board aren't happy with that. I don't know what'll make them happy, as they want brand exposure. They want financial success, win the league, win the cup, and win the Champions League. A lot of players signing a new contract, though, which is different to what we usually have, because we usually have them all leave. And it is literally like the last window we had, getting rid of some of the lower players. Question is, can we win it all like the board expect? We start off with Southampton away from home and a draw with Saints, as we are going to lose some actual OG youngsters as well, like Jamie Bowden, and Harvey White is not in my plans. Hugh Naylor's not in my plans, and there goes Harvey White as well. To Burnley. We've got all that money in the bank and we're making 0 signings. With one of the toughest groups I've seen so far in the Champions League. Sporting, Bayern and Celtic. No team is a walkover despite Celtic's record in this competition, which we aim to keep on going. And halfway through this season, second in the Premier League by 2 points. And it's only a draw that's put us there. Okay, decent. Very decent. If I seem a little bit agitated at the moment, that's because I am. I got sacked 5 times before being able to carry this save on. It is stupid, this year's FIFA. And although we already have one of the world's best teams on paper, should we add to it? So here's the man to make us stronger, and I'm really hoping we could actually win the league and the Champions League in the same season. It would be brilliant, wouldn't it? And Joshka Vardiol should make our chances, there he is, finally popping up, should make our chances so much bigger. He's cost us £87 million with that one signing and a thumbs down. We've got to try and press on. Come on. We can be better than we have done. Oh, I never checked the Champions League as well. We are through and we've got Barcelona. A tough game as we top the group. Celtic second. They've broke their hoodoo. Bayern Munich third for the the second time. Sporting out with 2 points. Question for me is, oh no, he's not. I'm going to say is Harry Kane still playing. Adobe suspended. Abraham's got a little bit of a knock, which ain't great, but still, I have the faith, and Danjuma's brace repays that. And we're through to the quarterfinal on penalties after losing the game. They missed quite a few in sudden death. Jeez. That is a roller coaster. On to Bergamo Calcio, which is Atalanta reaching the quarterfinals. I think we've got lucky with his draw. Literally speed running this as 3-1. That should be the tie over. They've done very well to reach this far, as it's 2-3-1, 6-2 on aggregate. And we meet again, Arsenal. We've got them in the semi-finals. Can we outdo them? Which we didn't do last season. They're actually playing Guendouzi in the middle, so I'm worried when they're playing players in the position, as it's a 2-2 draw with the current holders. And another Premier League Manager of the Month whilst we've been simming these. That makes me think we might win the league. I haven't checked that, but if we do, that'll be an exciting final season, this one. But we do play Arsenal after this in the league. Bissouma suspended. Can we reach the final? Yes, we do. We go better than them. Abraham against the club he supports, with Saka getting the other Champions League final number 2 in 2 seasons. No idea who we're going to play, as it looks like we may... Oh, no, a game in hand with better goal difference. We may still snatch the title. And we've done it. We've won the title on goal difference. Look at that. Oh my days, we beat Arsenal, Man United, and I think we drew with Liverpool, but it was enough to clinch it from Manchester City. Same wins, draws and losses, but the goal difference is 13 better with our two 90 rated strikers, 94 points. Put the trophy in that cabinet for Thomas Frank. So this season, if we win the Champions League, it will be the last, as Chelsea win the FA Cup. Don't get me wrong, we might have won every trophy if I'm thinking straight. In the Champions League, everything but the Conference League is won, as look at that. Arsenal have got themselves a Carabao trophy. That's a measly trophy. They had their glory last year. We've got Dortmund in the final. As goal-wise, Danjuma has took over from Tammy. 40 goals, not 14, 40. Brilliant. Tammy Abraham, 25. Ruben Neves, 19 goals, 22 assists. He's got making up to do after missing the final last year. Højbjerg, brilliant. That's not a suspension, though, is it? That little line. Leach got 10. Please don't say he's suspended. European competition won match. We've lost as captain for the final. Why does this happen to us? Oh, my days. Why? He's my favourite player, but he's let himself down at the very end. I mean, he must have done it to get past Arsenal. Who do we put on the bench? I honestly don't know. Let's go with Divine. Alfie Divine and Sarr on the bench, even weaker than last year. But Skip is in the team. I said I wanted him to play at one point. He will be in the team with Neves probably as captain. And we travel to the Veltins Arena. A bit unfair that we're playing in Germany. However, it is Dortmund's rivals' ground. So come on, Spurs. No bottle job. Here it is. The blue seats, of course, of Schalke. Managed here before in a previous save, but we've got to do it here with Tottenham. And it's Bissouma as well on the Tifo. Bit harsh that it's not Tammy, judging by him being the best player. Or Højbjerg. Solidarity for the sent-off man. We've got to have a bright start to make sure there is no bottle job here. Ruben Neves testing Kobel. Quite funny how Meslier can't come and walk into this side as well after making the transfer, not wanting to be a bench player at us. That was almost a good pass. There's Danjuma with a pass now into Yves Bissouma. That's a pass around. Here it is. A ball around Danjuma. Good play. Good start. Oh! What a little pass from Tammy. Danjuma, man, you've got to score. We've had a very bright start, but it doesn't mean anything if we don't score. Danjuma into Tammy. Around the corner. Jed Spence pulls it back. There we go. Danjuma, as soon as it left his boot this time, you knew we were going to score. Scored our last goal in the Champions League final. A great move down the right-hand side. Jed Spence with the pullback. And that is a complete goal. Fantastic. Come on, we keep on going though. Danjuma again. What a start to this game. Still, we're all over them in their box. Oliver Skip might fall to him again. Oh no, Skip. Ex-Gooner Martinelli trying to score, of course. Tammy Abraham's onside, and that is a goal for Yves Bissouma, a man rumoured with Arsenal as well. Scores for Tottenham. He's been here all save long. Get in! The man has gone under the radar in this save. No idea how Tammy was onside. Referees and officials may be a little bit confused. Don't care though. Gigantuous second half coming up still to keep it at 2-0. But what a result. Been brilliant, but it means nothing if we don't win. We are known for bottling it. But Tammy Abraham! Make sure we hopefully don't. It's 3 goals for the Spurs. This may be my favourite goal of them all. Everyone's been good play, but to take that on first time with the long legs, sticking it past Coble. Keep going like this, and we've got a great scoreline on our hands. Ball across is a bad one there. And Danjuma, we're looking for 4 as the fans are motivating us. Ruben Neves. This Spurs dynasty is almost complete. Tammy, oh, he scuffed it. Scuffed it. It shouldn't really matter, however. Cardenas with a slide tackle, and the whistle goes at 3-0. That is it. That is it completed. We have won every single trophy there is, bar the Tin Pot one, which is the Europa League Conference. We've done it all. We've won the lot. We're Tottenham. We're never going to stop. And here we go, Ruben Neves to lift it aloft. What a captain he's come in and been. Come on. Come on! A big end right there as we have just gone straight into this roundup. I don't want a chuffing movie for you guys to watch. I want entertaining, shortish content. Okay, that'll probably be over an hour as we go through our little roundup. Starting with our biggest win, 5-0 over Huddersfield in our second season when everything looked promising, but it actually wasn't. As the biggest defeat, as always, is a 4-0, and this was to Chelsea in a derby. The same season, the same 2023 late August, I think it was, so the same time as the Huddersfield game. Really, really poor. Moving on to our most expensive player, which you may expect was right at the end. None of these big players that we've got. Joska Vardiol, who is quite a big player, but not as big as some of the ones we've had, because we've really made this quite grown. We've had 6 players in this team, 6 seasons in, who actually started with Tottenham, who of course in real life haven't done well. As we've got to name 3 players here who I think have done okay, not the best, but players who have stood out as greats to me. So we're going to start with my absolute favourite, Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. He is up for debate, I think. Of course, you can vote yourselves on the channel poll tomorrow when, of course, this video has been out a while, who your guys' favourite is. Højbjerg goes down as mine, but there's 2 more suggestions. Second will be the captain who's just lifted it as a signing goes. Really, really good. Ruben Neves. I thought he was older than he is. 25-year-old he came in and got to 91 rated. Just dominated the middle of the park. Just a bit further forward than Højbjerg. We've got loads of defenders like Destiny won't make this list, which is just shambolic, really. Destiny Adobe, great, but not quite the next man. As it's not Danjuma, of course. It's not Bissouma, who's a shout. It's none of them. It is Tammy Abraham. He has come in as a guy with affiliations to other North London clubs and just London clubs in general. He has been a revelation, as this brings us to the end of winning every single trophy, our most successful save ever with Tottenham Hotspur of all teams, the team that doesn't win trophies. As yet, suggest down below what you want to come next, and I will see you all in the next one.